quite a regular feature now over the years on the Loose Women panel.
I have.
It's your first time in this week.
I don't know, but I can't actually... It's one of those weird things where one day I wasn't in Loose Women and the next day I was. I can't actually remember what my first ever show was, but we've had our ups and downs and our highlights. I think for me, the ones that stick out is obviously meeting and becoming engaged to Enrique Iglesias. And I saw a picture of him the other day with that blonde tennis player still trying to pretend he's going out with her, which is really sad. And the other one was trying to steal Russell Brand from Carol by flashing my boobs, realising it would... Then it had the complete reverse effect, of course. Didn't work. But probably my highlight, and considering that I gave him such a hard time, is when my dear husband Tim came and sang for me on the show. One of the reasons I was so relieved is because I was so terrified that he was going to walk on in a thong. So when he actually sang a thong, I was actually quite pleased, and it was quite romantic.
Well, here it is, your favourite moment from your Loose Women years.
My hair.
You fill my heart with gladness. You take away my sadness. Ease my troubles. That's what you do. You fill my heart with gladness. You take away my sadness. Ease my troubles. That's what you do.
It's my favourite song. I love that song.
Do you get him to do that every night when you come home?
Every single night, yeah. Oh. I just couldn't believe my back fat in that bloomin' top. It's just graceful.
We didn't notice. We didn't.
No, we really didn't. And did he get the jiggy jig that night?
No. Didn't like it that much, Kate.
OK. Well, we all know that magazines full of scantily clad women, such as Loaded and Nuts, are hugely popular with men. But Men's Health magazine has beaten them all this year to become the #1 men's magazine in the UK, with sales of over 250,000 copies a month. Now, the magazine offers tips on working out, healthy eating and lifestyle advice for men, with plenty of pictures of fit men, but not women. So, do images of men in tip-top condition inspire our own men to get fit, do you think? Are they coming round to our way of thinking? Look at that, ladies.
Denise is sniggering away at the end there. It's funny, because I rang Paul, because I knew we were going to do this, and I said, have you heard of Men's Health magazine? And he said, yeah, it's because he's like 40. And I said, so, do you read it then? He said, no, I've been with you 13 years. I read Mental Health magazine.
That's not very nice.
That's horrible. It's really mean. So, I know it is a bit rude, actually. I'm going to have a word with him about that later. Do you know, I have to say...
Does he look after himself, though?
He gets down the gym occasionally. He goes through spates where he just goes, oh, my God, I've got to do something, and then he'll do it for, like, 2 months. He'll be religiously running or what have you. And he's going through one of those at the moment because he just appeared on a shopping channel quite recently, and he's got all his nails done and everything.
Has he?
Yeah, I'm getting him back now. He said, don't mention my nails. Sorry about the nails. But we were in the car the other day, and some gorgeous bloke with massive shoulders walked past, and Paul and I were having a conversation, and Paul went, "Cool, look at him." Is that not my job to notice him?
Well, it's very telling,
he was
isn't it?
inspired. He just said, isn't that great? That bloke's obviously spent a lot of time looking after himself, which surprised
just
me.
before he painted his nails?
And you dropped him off for a facial.
Yeah, exactly. Ran back after the bloke.
But don't you think that today's modern man has been provoked into becoming more vain, because fashions have changed so much? And, you know, if you hark back to the 50s, men wore shirt, tie, braces, suits, and now these days there's tight tops, cap sleeves. I mean, they're under pressure, aren't they?
I don't think it's about vanity. I think it's great, actually. I think it's really good that men have started to really pay attention to their appearance, you know, more so. And I think it's really good that this magazine is selling more than any other. I think it's healthy for a start, but also, you know, you have this image of blokes growing old and just starting to wear slippers and expanding and just becoming really quite unattractive, while, you know, women are always worried about what they look like, and they do make more effort. So I'm really pleased, but, you know, Mark doesn't buy that magazine, but he is getting, like, really quite obsessed with the gym.
Is he?
He goes to the gym. He goes to the gym a lot. I mean, he's quite fit anyway, but, you know, he's really like...
And what's brought this on, though, Carol? Is it a newfound thing?
Well, yeah, no, it's not. I mean, he's always been... He's gone to the gym for quite a long time, and he knows about healthy eating and everything like that. I mean, his mum taught him all of that, so he's quite good in that respect. But, no, he goes to the gym because he likes going, but because he's been inspired by this guy who's training him at the gym, who works there. And he's all excited because, I don't know if you remember, I told you on the show once that he likes watching cage fighting on the telly.
Oh, my goodness.
Anyway, stop now, because I put a parental lock on, so you're not watching that. So you're not watching that anymore. It's violent by any name other than... Anyway, so he goes...
Parental lock?
I didn't really. I don't like it, though. I mean, it's so violent. But so he's gone to the gym, and the guy who's training him just happens to be a cage fighter. So the first night he went there, he came back... And I was like, oh, how did it go? Was it all right? And he starts going, well, yeah, it was great, because he's a cage fighter. He's a cage fighter. And he's giving me the moves, and he's like that. I'm like, what are you doing? So is he teaching you to cage fight? He said, no, but it's great, because he's a cage fighter. And then he stands there like that, and he goes, anyway, look, he's only been to the gym once. He goes, look at this, look. It's like, says, look, do I look like that bloke in the magazine? But if I look at a magazine, I go, well, look at that, isn't he gorgeous? His eyebrows start dancing like those kids in the advert. He's like going, what, better than me? Right, I'm going up the gym, I'm going to do a bit of cage fighting. Bless him.
Talking of cage fighters, because obviously, you know, I'll give you 3 guesses what my answer is to, has Tim been influenced by Men's Health magazine? I said, darling, have you heard of Men's Health magazine? Do you know what you're talking about, Flo? I'm watching the golf. Go ahead. But we actually went to this lovely wedding, to our friend Jason and Nisha's wedding in Florence at the weekend. And one of the lovely guys on our table was a guy called Cameron, who is a cage fighter. Suddenly, from never hearing about them, they're just everywhere. They're popping up all over, aren't they, the old cage fighters? And anyway, he just had the most gorgeous backside I've ever seen in my entire life. So, but anyway, later on, we'd all said I tried to. Oh, he's just got. I mean, really, really fit and firm. And he didn't have a drink of anything. But suddenly, Tim, Tim is actually somebody who doesn't smoke, doesn't drink, and doesn't work out. Do you know what I mean? He's trapped in the body of somebody who's a baldy Geordie who likes a booze every single weekend. Do you know what I mean? But basically, he also thinks that you know how apparently if you train, your body has a memory. And it can retain certain things. And
Muscle
I go,
memory.
But darling, you're 57. You were 19 when you were in the Paris. I had to train with a 40-pound backpack on. We walked for 40 miles a day. I go, you were 19. Anyway, I just heard him. I casually walked past him with this cage fighter, going to this guy Cameron. So what's your ambition, Cameron? And he went, well, I'd like to be in the top 10 fighters of the, you know, in this country. You see, that's why you'll never be a world champion. Now, listen to me, and I'll give you a few tips. And I thought, I can't believe you're giving the cage fighter some tips. So, God, when the guy's getting his world championship, it'll be going, and thank you to Tim Healy, who I met in Florence.